TalesFromYourServer, episode 33. Dear condescending lady sitting at the bar butting into the conversation I was having with a regular. Our topic of conversation was how a one-bedroom apartment I saw in Denver was $1,260 a month, and how ridiculous the housing market has gotten. BC, that apartment is affordable housing. You butted in condescendingly saying, well, if you can't afford affordable housing, maybe you should go to school and get a real job that pays better. For your information, I have a degree from a great university, in economics mind you, which is relevant to my conversation I was having with a nice regular. I make substantially above the limit to qualify for affordable housing in Denver, working 37 hours a week. I know I make more than you being a receptionist at a hospital only ordering our cheapest wine and food, and I enjoy my job, and am not a miserable piece of shit who feels the need to invalidate service industry people and tip shit. Enjoy your bare minimum service, while I make sure everyone around you gets the best and friendliest service they could possibly get. I saw a bartender give the most amazing exit performance from a job. I just remembered this glorious performance from a couple of years ago and had to put it out to the serving universe. It was my coworker's last night bartending at a touristy theme bar with frequent entitled customers, and he was phasing out. This asshole woman sallies up to the bar and orders 2 shots of Fireball, which he pours generously, and a Miller Lite. She then asks for a certain beer. Sorry, we just ran out of that one, but this is a similar alternative. Rolls eyes. Ugh, I don't want that. I'll take this instead, I guess. Sorry ma'am, we don't carry that beer at all. Well, just give me another Miller Lite, and I'll take the shots for free, because this is outrageous. Dude steps back, takes off his uniform shirt. He has an undershirt on, but it'd be funnier if he didn't. Dumps out the first Miller, then looks her dead in the eye and slings back both shots. Then he just turned around, clocked out, and left the bar. It might have been the single best thing I've ever witnessed. Hope that guy's still changing lives somewhere. 3 young Navy men sat at my table last night. They were very off-putting. When I greeted them, they didn't say a word, but I finally got them to crack jokes and try new food. Then after I hand them back their cards when dinner is over, one of the men asks for my number. I said no, and when he retorted, I said that I do not give my number to strangers, including customers I've just met, also that I have a BF. The man then said as I was walking away, no number, no tip. I turned around so fast, telling him that his way of thinking was wrong, and I work to pay my bills, not whore myself out to random people. He didn't tip me. I flipped him off from the window. I got 10% from the other 2 guys at the table, as per usual from any other person who asks for a military discount. I grew up a Navy brat, as they say, with parents who didn't have many options, and yet I cannot wrap my brain around the amount of military people who are beyond shitty to serve, let alone interact with. Edit, flipping spelling error. Do you know what a rocks glass is? Sorry for formatting as I'm on mobile. So this happened last night, when I was the closing server. The characters are a miserable old lady we will refer to as Moll and her friend, F. This was my first table of the night, and I was in a great mood, so I went to greet the table, pour them water, and inquire about a drink order. Moll, I want a Bellini. Do you know what that is? Me, yes miss I. Moll cuts me off mid-sentence. Moll, yeah? Then what's in it? Me, Prosecco and peach puree miss Moll. Good, that's what I want me. Unfortunately I'm not sure my bartender has any peach puree at the moment, but I'm more than happy to check for you. F. I'll have a tangerine martini with the vermouth on the side. Me, absolutely. Olives or a twist for you miss? F. A twist please Moll. Put olives in it too. I'll have her olives and I want 3 orange slices. Me, I'm happy to bring you some olives on the side miss Moll. No, put them in her drink and I'll take them. Me, sorry miss, I don't want to put olives in your friend's drink. If she doesn't want olives, as that may change the flavor of her martini slightly, but like I said, I'm happy to bring you a side. Her friend looks at me apologetically and thanks me, and I go to check if we have peach puree. Generally we only use it for parties that have Bellini bars and mimosas, so I ask the bartender who says no, and then the pastry chef who says yes, but it's currently frozen. I'm not going to have the chef thaw out a tub of peach puree just for this lady's drink, so I go back to inform her we don't have any. Me, sorry miss, we don't have any puree in house right now. Was there something else you would like? Mol looks even more pissed off. Okay, I'll have peach schnapps instead. Me, absolutely. Would you like that by itself, or can I put it in prosecco for you? Mol, with prosecco obviously. It's called a fake Bellini. But I want it in a rocks glass. Do you know what a rocks glass is? Friend facepums and says, I'm sure he knows what a rocks glass is. I chuckle and say, of course, I'll be right back with your drinks. I bring the drinks over, and Mol looks displeased. As I drop the drinks I see I'm getting sat another table. Mol, that looks small. Me, I'm sorry you feel that way, but it's our standard pour. Miss Mol points at glass. Usually it's up to here, this is small. Me, again miss, our bartender does a standard pour and I just saw him fill the prosecco glass fully before transferring it to the rocks glass. I'm happy to grab my manager for you if you would like. Mol says it's fine and drops an orange slice in it to make sure the prosecco is actually carbonated. Mayo, at which point she seems at least slightly satisfied. They are not ready to order, so I greet my other table and come back a couple minutes later. Mol, I'll have the chicken livers, but I don't want them overdone. I want them medium. Me, unfortunately the chef has to cook them all the way through, but I make a note for him to not overcook them. Mol, no, I want medium. Me, yes miss, but we are required to cook them all the way. We used to serve them rare, but can no longer offer them undercooked. I'm very sorry F, it's the law. I beam a genuine smile at the friend and tell Mol her friend is right, but like I said, I will tell the chef to not overcook them. They eat and the Mol is happy with her well done chicken livers, even says they are delicious. Thank God. When it comes time for the bill, her friend hands me her card. Mol yells, let me see the bill. Me smiling, sorry miss, your friend has taken care of it. Friend leaves me 20% and thanks me again. Luckily I was in a good mood that day and all my other tables were very nice, but that one lady almost made me lose it. Instead I plastered on a smile and tried to kill her with kindness. Don't touch my pregnant belly. This was during my third pregnancy. I had been very nonchalant about being touched by random women up until that point, figuring most didn't really mean anything by it. Maybe I was having a rough shift, but out nowhere some random lady comes up and just puts her hand on my belly, no warning, didn't ask, just comes up and touches me. I reached out and touched her belly. She looked at me with shock and says, what are you doing? I said, what are you doing? I should've probably gotten in trouble when she told my manager that I was rude to her, but she broke the boundaries first. What is with people? I laugh about it now, but I was furious in the moment. Still one of my favorite stories. Fallout from confronting a friend who is a bad tipper. I'm curious if you or anyone you know has ever confronted a friend or family member for being a poor tipper when you go out with them. What was their reaction? Did they see the error of their ways? Or did they double down? I confronted my former roommate and he was super appreciative. He was young and had never worked in the industry. My boyfriend, on the other hand, was not so lucky. He has a really close friend that is a horrible tipper. He told me they thought about it before, and he's finally resigned himself to having to bring extra cash or tip more on his share when he hangs out with her. This is a woman with a full-time job, no children or pets, who lives with her parents rent-free. Her only bill is her cell phone. She gets her hair and nails done all of the time, maintains eyelash extensions and tinted eyebrows, just took an international vacation, and recently had a nose job. Her reasoning for tipping poorly, *she can't afford it. Recently she took him out for a birthday meal and proceeded to leave 6%. My boyfriend called her out on it and said he would gladly Venmo her some money if she would please just leave 20%. She got pretty upset and hasn't really spoken to him since. I feel bad that his friendship seems to be ending, but also kind of relieved I won't have to hang out with this person. I know it seems petty and dramatic, but people who cry poverty as a reason to tip poorly are generally just selfish assholes. Not people I want to spend time with. Sup, the joke you're about to tell your server isn't funny, and a piece of their soul dies every time they have to fake laugh at it. Asterisk asterisk if you say any of these jokes, you're the worst. Asterisk asterisk server. Asterisk asterisk can I get you anything else? Asterisk asterisk why oh you are dumbass. Asterisk asterisk the winning lottery numbers. $1 million. A wheelbarrow to take me out of here. Your number seriously, people. If there are any customers reading this, I'm begging you. Please. Please stop. You're not funny. I don't know who in your life is laughing at your lamb jokes, but I wish I did, so I could ask them to stop enabling you. Do you actually think those responses are funny? Really? Do you really think you are the first person to say that basic bullshit? A poem for table 92. I did not like you, 92. The reason why I think you knew. I faked a smile, but still it's true. I did not like you, 92. Asterisk WITH thanks to Brown and Marshall. https://n.m/wiki/i_do_not_like_the doctor_FELL/ORIGIN_AND basis. Asterisk. The night I ended up picking bloody $100 bills as a tip. So I just happened to find this subreddit, and after lurking for a long time I thought I'd share this story. So backstory, I work in a pub/nightclub that at capacity fits about 400 people. This was the biggest bar in our relatively small town and had been shut down for a few years prior. It had just reopened and was in its first few months of operations. It was pretty hectic for the first few months, and we had up to 8 bartenders on at a time. Anyways, one Saturday this guy, we'll call him K, comes into the bar. He walks up to one of the other bartenders, orders a Corona and hands him a $100 and said keep the change. He ends up doing this a few times throughout the night. Now this is a pretty big deal and he's getting to zero-notch service for sure. However, we've seen stuff like this recently being the reopened, so this wasn't too unheard of. The night progress, and K gets pretty wasted to say the least. He wasn't at the point of getting cut off, but it's safe to say he's had a good night at this point. I don't exactly know what happened here as I was on the other side of the bar. However, from what I was told, K pulled out $500 and offered it to Person R if Person R punched K in the face. No, I did not get that backwards. K is a lunatic to say the least. He's banned from a lot of bars around here for pulling shit like this. R proceeds to get dragged out by the bouncers right in front of me. The next thing I see is K walking up to my well I was working at. He has blood pouring out his mouth and nose at this point, and obviously got hit pretty good. I was kind of in shock at this point, and like what is going on, but then K proceeds to bring out a wad of cash, all $100, and just starts making it rain on me behind the bar. He's splitting blood up, and there's blood all over the counter and bills. Everyone in the bar kinda just stopped, and is like what the fuck. He basically walked out after that, and all the money, despite being covered in blood, ended up in our tip jar. We pool our tips, so I think after tip out and everything being said and done, the person who made the least made about $850, and I made the most at $1,350. I got covered in blood, but I also have never made close to that again in my life. Still kinda shook about it to this day, tbh. TLDR, a guy made it rain in bloody $100 bills and basically paid each bartender's rent for the month. Always trust your bartenders, we know what we are doing. Small bit of context before I have a rant about my worst customer experience. The exchange is as best remembered as I can, as this was a few months ago. Throughout my final year of my degree, I worked at a bar part-time on weekends to earn some extra money. This was a higher class bar that advertised towards business people and not the student population of the city. In this bar there were 2 separate bars, the main one downstairs with your standard on-tap beers and ideas, basic mixer drinks, and some top shelf alcohol, and the bar upstairs being the cocktail bar with basic mixers, cocktails, expensive champagne, and more top shelf alcohol. I worked on the cocktail bar when this event took place. We shall call the lady in question K from now on, and that'll become clear later. It was a busy weekend night at the other bar when B and her group came to my bar. Due to my bar being less busy, I came over to see her straight away. Me, good evening guys, what can I get for you? K. 4 Georgia bums please. M. No problem at all, I'll get right on it. I begin to do what I've been taught to do when making drinks, do them in front of the customer. I out up 4 glasses and measure out a shot of Georgia in a jiggler, 25 milliliters measuring cup, and pour it into the first glass. K. Aren't we supposed to get that in a shot glass inside the glass? M. We don't do it like that here due to the shot glasses being actual glass and we don't want one to break for you to swallow glass. K. Well, that's how I want it. M. I'm sorry madam, I can't do it like that. K. But that measurement is smaller than a shot glass. M. I can assure you it is not. They are both 25 milliliter. K continued to insist I was cheating her out of alcohol and the rest of her group was getting a bit uncomfortable and restless, presuming they just wanted to have their drinks and sit down. So I grabbed a shot glass and tipped out the Georgia into the shot glass and, surprise surprise, it came right to the brim. M. Is there anything else I can get you? She said a multitude of mixes including a berry gin and lemonade, and I set about making them. I finished making them in front of her, and she pointed at one and said, "Is that the berry gin and lemonade?" To which I realized I had given her the wrong gin. M. My apologies, I've used the wrong gin. Let me quickly make you the one you ordered. K. Why can't I have that one? M. Instead of the berry gin. K. No, I want this for free and the berry gin. M. I'm sorry, I can't allow that, it's not policy to do it that way. K. Well, what are you going to do with it? M. I'm going to tip it away and write it on a wasted sheet then make you the correct one. K. Well, that's a waste, won't you get in trouble with your boss? M. Not at all. She understands things like this happen. And then she said the golden line that earned her this name. K. I want to speak to your manager. M. Are you sure she's only going to say the same thing as I did? K. Yes, I'm sure. So I walked downstairs to the other bar, and remember when I said it was busy, it was about 5 people deep all the way along the bar, which could have about 12 staff on comfortably. My manager, A, was clearly having a bad evening of people complaining and her not being able to do anything about it, so her eyes lit up when she got the chance to come off of that bar and up to mine to have a go at a customer for being rude to her staff. She followed me back up and I pointed out K, who had moved to a table, and she went over to speak with her. I didn't hear the conversation, but was told afterwards by A that she said exactly what I said to them, but a lot more sternly and with a rather large bouncer behind her, and she then charged them for the drinks they bought at an apparent discount, but actually included twat tax, which went back to me as a tip. So thank you to K, who got me a drink after work and a McDonald's on my way home. I understand it's not quite as bad as some others' experiences, but this one has really just stuck with me. But to counter this, I've had countless kind, polite, understanding, patient, funny, nice customers, so I don't dwell on this, but it's a funny story to tell, and shows me exactly how not to perform as a customer to people working in customer service jobs. Instant karma with some help from an annoyed server. Some context, I work at a franchise which has recently implemented half-price wing day. We were already located in an area that was mostly students and low-income housing. Wing day turns our calm little restaurant into a lineup out the door, literally no spare chairs, everyone is quadruple sat kinda place. We have no bartender. We have no host. No sections, buses, or runners. We have 3 fryers and 1 small oven. It's a **CKING nightmare and food takes over an hour. People don't understand that if they tip %20 after the discount, it's really %10. And they don't. They tip %0-10, which is fine. You have a family of 6 and this is the only way you can afford to eat out in a year. I get it. But wing day also brings out the trashiest, neediest, most Karen customers I've ever seen. More detail could be given, but I just needed you to picture the kind of mess and total depression the servers feel at the end of the night, when we then get to sweep and mop it all for 2 hours past close. Onto the story. Typical table came in an hour before close. We are calming down now and mostly trying to just bus everything. They tried to order things that weren't on the menu. Waved at multiple servers that weren't this. Complained the fries were a fried, and I'm a cook so I know they weren't. Contested the bill afterwards and stiffed the server. Typical wing night table. As I bus nearby I see them get up and leave their phone right in the middle of the booth. I stand there saying nothing as they walk all the way across the restaurant and get into their car. Now I have forgotten to key it across that parking lot for a 10% tip before, but they didn't pay for that kind of service tonight in my opinion. We take the phone behind the bar and wait for their return. An hour goes by and nothing. All customers have left. The doors are locked, signs off. Just cleaning and cutlery left. I get a phone call for 5 minutes past close. Keep in mind we close late so this wasn't some casual 9:45 call. Them hey did you guys find a phone there? In the booth? Looked like me why yes we did. T great what time do you close? I'll come get it. Unfortunately we've closed for the night, but we open tomorrow out this time, and I'll let the server know you're coming to get it. T I know. I'm coming tonight. I live 5 minutes away yes, and our doors are locked for the night. They cannot be reopened once customers have gone. It's a safety issue. But we do open at time, so you can come as soon as the doors are unlocked to get it. T this is F***king ridiculous. I can come get it. You're still there. I want your name. I'm coming to get it. Are you seriously going to F***king say that to me? Thanks so much for calling. Have a good night. Not lying about the locked door policy, but we all break a rule or two for nice people. These guys were not nice people, and I'm not expected to stay late in a sketchy area with a door unlocked at midnight for a stranger who was rude to my staff and didn't bother to check our closing time. That being said, we were totally still there until 1 AM. TLDR, asshole forgot his phone and called after closing. Wasn't happy that he would have to be without it until morning. I'm sorry old ladies. I'm sorry to the old ladies out there that I can no longer look at without thinking either, what the fuck do you need lemon for, or no, I would really prefer to not bring you the hot water for your specialty bag. Buy the fucking tea.